you stop him, don't you? I can't stop him.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on another episode of the Horror Syndicate live tonight. It is a beautiful Wednesday night. It's chilly here on the east side. I don't know how it is central, but welcome for joining us. We got a lot of things to talk about us today. We have the Bloody Streaming Roulette that Jared usually does. Every week he picks a random movie. He's going to talk about that. We have a couple movies to talk about, a couple movie reviews, such as the VHS at Midnight that we do every Friday night at midnight. And then we also are going to go into the Mother of Tears trilogy, the Dario Argento trilogy, starting with Suspiria, then Inferno, then Mother of Tears. So thank you for joining us. My name is Brian Enright. You can follow me at The Horror Jew on Twitter, or you can follow me on Facebook at Brian Enright. And next we have Baron Craze. Baron, how are we doing tonight?
We're doing fine. I'm the horror historian to some, and to others, a complete psychotic who likes horror movies, who can watch them during a church service. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter under Baron_Craze, and also on Facebook under Baron Craze.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight, Baron. And next we have Jared Letourneau.
Good evening, everybody. Jared here. You can follow me on Facebook at Jared Letourneau or on Twitter at zombie_survivor. Glad to be here.
Awesome, Jared. We're glad you're here, too. Next, we have the woman in our cast. For tonight, we have Morgan. Morgan, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at Morgan_Jewel_S.
Yeah, 2 for 2. Everyone give her a round of applause tonight.
Folks will get better and better every time.
It's definitely because I'm on different Wi-Fi.
Oh, you're on different Wi-Fi? Then that's the issue. We finally found it. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Morgan. And right now we have Ray Cannella. Ray, thank you for joining us tonight.
Good evening, boys and ghouls. Hello, horror fans. It's your old Uncle Ray Zilla coming to you semi-conscious, somewhere off exit 18E of the New Jersey Turnpike. And you can hook up with me on Facebook at Ray Cannella. And you can follow me on Twitter at RayZillaNJ. And we're going to have a little fun tonight, everybody. Stick around.
Oh, lots of fun indeed. Definitely lots of fun. And last but not least, the president of the Horror Syndicate, we have Ray Merrick.
You about floored me with that president stuff.
El Presidente.
Hey, it's better to be president of Horror Syndicate than president of the United States, right?
Okay. As long as when I walk in the room, nobody says Ray, and they all fall down or whatever. Glad to be here as usual. You can follow me at Razor_33 on Twitter, Rage of Razor on Facebook, and I'm drinking Mystic tonight. Anybody ever have Mystic? It's delicious.
Mystic.
Does that cleanse your colon?
Not like colon blow. I don't know. I'm trying to stay away from soda and trying something different. So, yeah.
I don't blame you. I've been drinking almond milk, lots and lots of almond milk and white grape juice. My poops have been stellar.
Not bad.
Well, congratulations, Brian.
Yeah. So, hey, Brian, one thing I want to say, I don't know if we should talk all through the house tonight because I didn't watch it.
Okay.
I didn't do my homework.
Me neither.
Okay.
Yeah, but I definitely want to see it, especially since you said it was pretty good. So.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I think there are dicks everywhere, right?
You know what? It's the gift that keeps on giving. The title of the movie, all through the house, should be welcome. This is our Christmas, and thank you for joining us. This is the Christmas horror movie of dicks. This movie is known for the holiday terror of dick removals. So,
Hmm.
because there's a lot of, if Baron knows, because he saw this movie 2 weeks ago before we got the screener. There's a couple dicks cut off with garden hedge, and
Could have been a drunken moil. It's entirely possible.
Oh my goodness.
well, I think
there is. I watched the film as well, and there was a high yield
I did too.
of penis removal. So,
So
maybe we really should save this for the holidays.
I think we should too, and this is probably not one that sci-fi would approve. I'm guessing with all the penis removal, right?
No.
Well, it probably wouldn't pass cable standards and practices. It would air, but those shots would be removed.
Or blurred.
Well, other things were removed, so I guess it's okay.
There you go. My goodness, we're off to a stellar start tonight.
So I guess we're gonna sit on that one, guys.
Oh, in more ways than one.
we're gonna sit on that one. All right, so yeah, thank you for joining us. We're a crazy group of people. If this is your first time joining us, this is our 6th episode. What we've been doing is we've been covering a lot of movies lately. Our last week's episode was on The Thing, and we dissected that movie to its core. And before that, we covered all the Nightmare on Elm Street. Today, we're going back to our usual schedule, where we cover our movies and our segments from the website, thehorrorsyndicate.com, and we all have a little bit of reviews to go about. And right now, speaking of the horrorsyndicate.com, we have this category called Bloody Streaming Roulette, which Jared does every week. So,
Jared created that stuff.
That's right. Jared created it, and Jared has been doing a really good job with the Bloody Streaming Roulette. And Jared, what did you get this week for Bloody Streaming Roulette?
Well, hold on now. I want to know about last week. I read the review, but I think everybody who missed the review should know what he thought of last week's hashtag horror movie. Right?
Well, if you guys want to hear about it, it was 2015's hashtag horror. It starred Chloe Savini. I don't know if I pronounced that name right. And Timothy Hutton, if you guys know who he is.
Sure.
That movie was hashtag awful. Hashtag lame.
Hashtag horrible.
Horrible. Hashtag boring.
Hashtag loser.
Oh,
Yeah, it lost in a very bad way. I said somewhere at the bottom of my review that I thought the adding of social media aspects to it was kind of a neat idea, but they way overdid it, overplayed the idea, and it was slow. It was just god awful. I'm sorry. That's all I can say.
And that's all he has.
Sometimes some things are so bad that you simply are at a loss for words.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at, because I always go into movies hoping the best.
So, did you pick one for this week? Or
I did.
Are you?
I
Well,
did,
yeah.
yeah. It's called Stage Fright.
woo!
It's 2014. I guess it mixes musical and slasher. I don't know if it's a remake from the old Italian movie of
It's not.
the same name. It's not? Okay.
Nope.
No. But go on.
It stars Minnie Driver, and it has Meatloaf in it, so you know it's going to have some good songs in it. It's rated
And mashed
3.5
potatoes.
stars. Yeah. It's rated 3.5 stars on Netflix, so I mean it's a lot better than the 1-star hashtag horror got. So I'm already wow. I'm already looking good, guys. So
I gotta watch hashtag horror. It seems like a movie that I just really want to not want to wake up the next day to remember, but enjoy every single drunken moment of it during its preview.
It beats taking a Xanax, right? I mean, you might as well hold on to one, you know. keep it stashed, off to the side and save it for a rainy day and watch hashtag horror instead.
Yes, and every time they make a reference to the social media, you should take a drink of your favorite alcohol. It'll make more sense with the movie by the end.
Not that you're advocating drinking alcohol, but you are.
Why not?
Not Baron, no.
I would like to have a Giallo night. I know the director of the original stage fright, Michele Soavi. He was like assistant director for a large sum of Italian horror from Dario and Lamberto in the 80s, and he just kind of got his own thing. I would like to cover, I would love to have a Giallo night.
That's why I brought up Suspiria, because we haven't done any Italian Giallo at all, and Jared talked about talking about our favorite subgenres, and that's something that I'm really new into, and I'd love to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a great
let me cut you off one more time, Brian.
Go ahead.
No, I'm joking. I didn't mean to cut you off before.
Oh no, it's.
But anyway,
it's podcast.
You've been warned.
Podcast radio. You cut each other off to make a point, and then you just come back in whenever there's dead air. Exactly. So, but yeah, now I lost my train of thought. Thank you very much, Ray. We're gonna go into our next segment. And
I almost bought Stage Fright yesterday.
Which one?
Both of them, actually. There's a new, not new, but a place called Vintage Stock that opened up in my mall, which I'm so excited about because they have Scream Factory and Arrow Blu-ray releases. And I saw Stage Fright, and I was like, oh, shit, I need more money. So I just bought a couple things, and I'm going to go back on payday.
Well, let me know if there's any movies you want to watch. We'll watch them on Hangouts, and we get to laugh and cry with each other. So that seemed really fun when we were getting started for Serbian film, but I think it was too late in the night to watch Serbian film, especially for me. For this
every time I see or hear Serbian film brought up, it makes me just want to drop take a poop.
Well, the secret to a long life is a healthy colon. So maybe we should discuss.
Hey, I'm doing my part. So.
We can tell.
VHS Midnight, join us every Friday night. This is going to be what I like to call a very weird, fucked up foreign film night. I have two movies.
You have already piqued my interest.
Yes, yeah. I'm all ears.
One is a horror movie. I won't get the name of the title, but it inspired Sam Raimi's Evil Dead. And the second one is a badly dubbed Chinese action flick with horror, ghosts, and 70s Nazis. And
yeah,
it's pretty rad. I enjoyed the movie very much when I was a kid. It stars a big action hero before he was a big action hero. And that will be Friday night at midnight. It'll be a double feature. So join us at the Horror Syndicate, and you can watch it live. And you can also watch it live straight from VHS Midnight presentation or at VHS Midnight on Facebook. So anything you guys want to cover before we get to our 8:30 segment?
Well, I read something in Entertainment Weekly. I don't know if it's any news to anyone, but the seventh season of The Walking Dead, the ratings are beginning to drop sharply.
Yep.
I saw that too.
Season we're in season 7, about 5 episodes in, and each episode has been performing worse than the previous episode. And right now, the series is down to a low in the ratings of around the third season. Around 2013 was when they hit their lowest point in the ratings, and then they managed to find their way back. But do
you think it has anything to do? I was going to say, do you think it has anything to do with people getting out of cable?
That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
that sort of erosion's happening across the board, and
because they don't have a deal with Hulu or anybody else streaming, as far as I know, do they?
Nope.
No,
they're a season behind on both of those.
Well,
they're on Netflix.
Yeah, but that's the season behind.
It's always the previous one.
Well, how is Fear the Walking Dead on Hulu? Because that's on Hulu. That's bizarre.
I'll tell you how it's on Hulu.
Maybe they're a different agreement.
Probably.
So
I
subsequently, since you
I
know,
wonder if
since-
there's something to the graphic nature of the first episode. It kind of turned some people off
Could
of the
be.
show.
Well, some are saying that it was kind of a jump the shark moment for the series by killing off the characters and doing it in such a graphic manner. There was backlash. The network and the producers did hear from the fans. There was a lot of backlash over the 90-minute premiere, and the numbers are what they are. Ratings don't lie. Now, please, it's still the highest rated show on television. Even though the numbers are still in decline. Walking Dead still outperforms majority of the shows on cable and even broadcast. So and Walking Dead does manage to find a way to bounce back. So I wouldn't begin ringing the death bell just yet for the show. But as far as people unplugging, people not using cable anymore, that sort of erosion is. Well, it's erosion. It's gradual and it's steady over time. What we're seeing with Walking Dead is a sharp decline episode after episode after episode after episode.
Now, do you think that's because they got rid of the happy endings? Because in the previous seasons, they had to at least kill 20 zombies to remain viewers' attention.
Well, something happened. Something happened to cause viewership to back down. I think the killing of those specific characters, very beloved
What about the
characters.
castration of Daryl? Everybody's favorite. He's been treated like a complete bitch all season. He didn't really get castrated. I mean, like figuratively speaking, castrated.
His manhood.
Jay, we seem to have a theme.
Spoilers.
Today, don't we?
Penis is off, guys.
Tonight's episode of the Horror Syndicate Live, we talk about castration of the man genitalia.
That's the new episode name.
The halls with chopped off penises.
But there's also I was reading Chandler Riggs. His contract's up, and then I think Rick, the guy, Andrew Lincoln, is about done also. So we could be seeing something towards the end of the series.
Look, seven seasons is in today's television environment. 7 seasons is a huge achievement, and I still think they have a couple of seasons left in them. Let's not forget, this is still if not the highest rated, one of the highest rated shows on cable. It's a water cooler show. It gets great live ratings because this is the type of show we call it. We used to call it in cable a water cooler show. It's something that people have to watch so that when they show up to work the next day, they can talk about it around the office. And it still is that kind of program. So, but nonetheless, there is this decline.
Well, episodes of Judge Judy can only go so far in the workplace.
This is true.
And especially
you can only discuss hot bench for just so much.
But I'm guilty. I'm one of those people who got rid of cable, and I tried to wean away from getting cable. But the only reason why I got it back, not cable, but through an application, I do Sling TV now. And the AMC is like their headliner on Sling TV, that and El Rey. And
El Rey's awesome.
Oh yeah.
And El Rey is fucking phenomenal. And the fact that it's bought by Univision.
Univision, say it right.
It's Univision. I know my wife works for the company, and they really know how to market it because they're also bringing in. I'll go into it there later, but I got Sling TV because I'm one of those people who was like, well, I know Walking Dead sucks, but I've been with it since the very beginning. I need to see how this train rides. And then every beginning of the season, they're like, oh, well, AMC just announced 2 more seasons of The Walking Dead. It's like, fucking kill me already. I don't want to be sitting through Sunday nights watching these boring ass episodes. But in my opinion, I think the 7th season has started really strong. I'm really excited to see the change of pace from pussyfooting around to now killing off major characters and everyone's shitting their pants.
They're still pussyfooting around, man. The first 4 episodes, how many ever episodes they're in, they broke up the story, which they could have condensed into 2 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like they focused on Morgan and what's her name, short-haired lady,
Carol.
and they focused on when the saviors came to Alexandria for the first time. And it's pissing me off because that right there, to me, is milking the goddamn show and milking us as viewers because they know we'll watch it. And
so
I'm about fucking done with this show. It's ridiculous. I'll read the comics and that's it. The characters are all unlikable, all of them.
Yeah, I think
It's
I'm going
already
to be
dead,
doing this
so.
on TV. So, Morgan, what do you think about The Walking Dead? Have you been watching it since the beginning?
Oh gosh. No, my parents have, and then I started like watching it in the middle of the series, I don't know what season, and I didn't go back and watch the beginning episodes either. But yeah, and then the only episode I've seen from this season was the premiere because I don't have cable, and we went to my cousin's house to watch it. So
Hey, Morgan, do yourself a favor and read the comics. Seriously, everybody else.
My
they're
mom
so good.
has the compendiums, the first 2
Oh.
ones. So
Good. No, so much better. The thing about the show is, and where they are now compared to where they are in the comics, it seems like there's probably at least 2 more seasons after this, depending on how they end this season. If if the whole Negan story arc is in this season from the comics, it's there's only another 2 story arcs after that, so that to get caught up with the comics. And I'll say goodbye.
So how long can they draw that out?
Well, they drew the governor out for fucking ever. That guy should have been in 1 season and
that's
over.
when I started watching. During the governor is when I started
They
watching.
ruined that whole storyline.
That
And
whole
that's
story
where
arc
I
was like
almost-
5 comics.
Yeah, Rick
And
should
that's
not
where
have
I
it.
almost bounced out too, man.
Yeah.
Was the governor section.
I loved the guy who played the governor. He was fantastic. Totally different from the comic.
Really,
In the comic, he has a handlebar mustache and a long mullet. And
completely batshit crazy.
yeah, he's way more crazy than, was it David Morrison or something like that?
Morrissey.
Yeah, he was great, but different. And why didn't he cut Rick's hand off? He did that in a comic. Andrew Lincoln said he was for it. And then they drug it out for 2. My least favorite episode is the episode where those 2 idiots sat across from each other the whole episode. That was the other episode. I was like, I'm about done with this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. It was the ratings reflect that. The show at that point, the show was receiving its lowest ratings.
Yeah, well, hopefully he continues to tank and we'll see better programming out there. I'd like
And
to see.
I think that was also about the time that Frank Darabont was out.
He was out after
well
the first
at that
season.
point.
Yeah, he was well out after the first season.
Right.
And I think they should, AMC should go for some other original content, like AMC, or not AMC, what's the channel that American Horror Story's on?
Oh, God.
FX.
FX.
No, FX has a cool looking, I don't know anything about it, but it looks interesting to me, called Taboo. It comes out in February. But, I mean, they're trying something different rather than, milking the comic. Fucking AMC.
I cannot stand American Horror Story. Oh,
I know you
my
can't.
God. I can't even deal.
Well, stop being a wiener.
Oh, my God. I will cut off my own wiener here on the topic tonight.
Hold on.
Or
Okay,
I watch another episode of American Horror
so
Story.
we got a couple more minutes before we get to party night. Tell me what have you seen and what do you not like?
That's a
Explain
bold
yourself.
question. I've seen the 2016 presidential elections, and I'll tell you what I don't like. I'm
That's
kidding.
a true American Horror Story.
Yes.
Man, what if? Oh man, we're not talking about this before our next segment.
Maybe we'll just have to sidebar that.
Well, I didn't care for the first season at all.
The first season
I
is the
was not.
best.
It was the best.
American Horror Story.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh yeah, I like the first one too.
I'm sorry, but I thought it just tried too hard. It tried too hard to be scary. It
Thank
tried
you.
Too hard to be weird.
I will admit you're right about that.
You know,
Yes.
if you've look, guys, I've been married a long time, and if I ever wore a black latex outfit to bed,
That just adds 25 more years to the marriage, buddy.
That is
yes.
not my style.
However, you would discuss such a thing with your spouse the following morning, would you not? Particularly if you surprised her with that. So you know, they just went about their day like nothing. You know.
So did that
What the fuck?
a little bit?
I
Did she
said,
baby powder?
What's the home Ray?
I said
She
no.
got that good D, man.
No, but you just don't. You just don't let that go without, you know, like a comment or two.
Well, you're
And,
not. You never get to come over to the America House thing because that's an everyday thing.
And I just felt that it was forced,
Okay.
that they were trying too hard. They had the disabled kid in the episode. Is that supposed to be creepy? Is that supposed to make me feel uncomfortable? It all felt too forced.
Did you try any of the other seasons? Like the Asylum season was great. Nobody likes Coven, but I like Coven.
I
like
like
the
Coven.
sound.
I like them all.
Yeah,
They were all fucking awful.
No.
Every season.
Brian.
Every season was fucking awful. And
Let me
you know
go-
what?
Let me go get you a pull up. Come on now.
They were doing themselves with Scream Queens, okay? Because you had people from American Horror Story go over to Scream Queens, and Scream Queens did it right. So I'm not completely judging.
Scream Queens is
Wow.
Scream Queens is way different though. I like Scream Queens a lot,
Scream
but
Queens
it's
is
way
like
different.
a comedy, horror comedy.
Yeah.
A lot.
American.
It works.
Campier version.
It works.
It does work.
American Horrible Story, I just can't watch it because
stop.
it's just nothing happens in it. It's
Hey,
like,
can
here's
we at
Dermot
least-
Mulroney or Dylan McDermott, whoever the fuck he is.
I know. I get those two confused too. But can
My
we at
daughter
least
likes
agree?
the show a lot. I
Can
have an
we
older
at least
daughter.
agree
my
that-
daughter's older and she enjoys the show a whole lot. She tells me the Carnival season is
freak
one
show.
that I would like.
You may.
Because I happen to like circuses. I happen to like films that feature circuses, carnivals, things like that, things of that nature.
That
Freak shows,
season,
I
every episode
enjoy
was like
that.
3 hours long. It felt like every episode was 3 hours long. On that
Really?
episode. For me, yeah.
It was a little slow, but it was out there.
Can we at least agree one thing, that at least we have a bunch of horror shows to bitch about?
Yeah.
It's nice that they're there, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we've discussed that before here, that horror as a business, and you go into production, low cost, high yield. It doesn't take a lot of money to produce effective horror. If you want to make a creature feature, you want to make a science fiction film, you want to make a period piece, go ahead, but you're going to need a budget. But horror has always been low cost, high yield. And the end result, as long as the storytelling as long as it's a well-told story, it's going to be profitable. And horror is always going to exist as one of the enduring genres. Genres come and go, tastes come and go, war films come and go, westerns come and go, musicals.
Look at this.
Come and go. Musicals are making a big comeback right now. But horror has been constant. If you look at the history of film, there's never been a decade without a substantial number of horror coming around from not just the United States but international. So it's always been a moneymaker.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I want to say something about that. Actually, my cousin, he used to work for Happy Madison, Adam Sandler's company, and I asked him, hey man, you're in the business, can you help me get in? He's like, yeah, write something. He told me to write 90 pages a page a minute is what he said to do. But he told me, he's like, what do you want to write? And I said, well, I have a science fiction thing I want to write. He's like, no, write a horror short. And I'm like, why? It's like, it's low production cost, and you have a better chance of making it a horror short, not a full-length feature, a short. And he says it can be seen by a lot of people. You can be online and just make a short, and that can get you into the business. And I wanted to ask you, Ray, what do you think about that, making a short rather than making your first movie a feature? Like our next topic, it was a feature rather than a short.
Look, here in the 21st century, as far as I'm concerned, length is of no consequence, really, to me. If you're telling a story, if you're telling a story, play the story out to its conclusion. But here in this day and age, I don't see any reason why anything has to be a specific length.
Did anybody see the on the El Rey Network? Actually, John Carpenter hosted it was a 2-hour long presentation of horror shorts. Anybody see that?
I posted something.
Yeah,
I posted that.
That's how I found out about it.
Yeah,
it was fantastic. It was fantastic. There was maybe 8 or 9 of them, and they were all really. The Mr. Smile one that I've seen floating around on YouTube and Facebook was on there, but there were some really good horror shorts in there that could actually, I could see being features. And that could be and I was going to say this to you, Brian, that could be a way to get Cuddles made. Make it a short, and then maybe, somebody will see it and can make it into a feature. You can make it into a feature.
Sometimes all you need is a good idea.
I gotta reshoot
Which
Cuddles.
Brian has none, so.
Yeah. I gotta reshoot Cuddles, but I'm gonna be working on the other project that's coming up. I got a crew that's working with me, and we'll see how that goes. But
just announce Morgan needs a redo on her prom, guys, in Texas. She's a cute girl.
No,
Come on.
I really don't.
Seriously,
Please.
guys out there,
dance. Let's do it.
Prom night.
No.
Okay.
she likes Star Wars.
Prom for Morgan.
Don't. Abort mission. Don't listen to them.
well, the thing about prom, that I have to say, is when you go to prom,
You take
you start out with prom in high school, and then after you graduate high school, you can be anything you want. You can go to, you can go to Harvard if you get in. You can go to an acting school, or you can go to a dance academy, especially a dance academy in Europe, just like our actress Jessica Harper did in Dario Argento's Suspiria. So,
Interesting segue.
Ryan's on his game tonight, ladies and
Interesting
gentlemen.
segue.
Hey, real quick, thank you, Troy, for letting us see Party Night.
Yeah, thank you
thanks,
very
buddy.
much for Party Night. And now we're going to get into a little bit of Giallo horror. We have Dario Argento's Mother of Tears trilogy, starting with Suspiria, going into Inferno, and I don't think everyone's seen it. I don't know. I know I haven't seen it, but we got Mother of Tears that we will cover at the very, very end of our trilogy. Suspiria is being remade. Chloe Moretz Grace is going to be starring in it, along with Tilda Swinton. It's going to look like when it comes out. I'm very afraid. While we're here in the now, we're going to talk about the movie Suspiria that was directed by Dario Argento. Claudio Simonetta himself and him many, many more times after Suspiria, a few movies before Suspiria, such as Profondo Rosso, and then down the list. But we have Suspiria, Deep Red, which is, thank you to Deep Red, is public domain. So if you want to broadcast Deep Red in a movie theater and sell tickets, you can. Go ahead. Do a double bill of Night of the Living Dead. But Deep Red's public domain and Suspiria is not. So everyone here has seen Suspiria. I hope so, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. So let's go into it. Ray, Merrick, we'll start with you.
You call me Mr. President.
Razor. All right, Mr. President.
His Excellency.
President Razor.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
So the president of the
R.I.P. JFK.
Sorry.
Your favorite Giallo movies, consists of Suspiria and Demons too. Let's go into why you chose.
Count? like City of the Living Dead, they don't count, do they? That's something I've always been confused about. The City of the Living Dead and the Beyond and Zombie, they don't count as giallo, do they?
I would.
No.
I would.
Okay.
Some of the movies, not the zombie movies,
Well,
but like
The Beyond is by far my favorite Italian horror movie.
like
But
Manhattan Baby or like
Manhattan Baby
the Ripper, Jack the Ripper.
yeah,
or,
New
New
York
York
Ripper.
Ripper is a giallo.
Yeah,
I would
New York
count them.
Ripper was bizarre.
Trilogy a giallo.
Yeah.
I do love Suspiria. I prefer Inferno, believe it or not. And I did like Mother of Tears. The thing with Suspiria for me, if I can just jump in and talk about how I feel about it, because I'm the most important person here. No, I'm just joking around. No, I was going to say, I didn't see Suspiria till last year, 2014, and immediately you get kicked right in the face with the music and how awesome it is. That Goblin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Claudio Simonetti.
it starts out like you're like, what the fuck? Oh, this is amazing. And that's the same feeling I had when I first saw Demons years ago, and I was brought right back to Demons because on the train at the beginning of Demons, you get this amazing music, and that's how I felt. And just kind of goes over the credits, and all of a sudden, you get a voiceover talking about what's her name? I just watched it this afternoon. The main character. Somebody help me.
Jessica Harper.
There we go. And that's the only time I think there's a voiceover through the whole movie. But and then one of the things I really enjoy about the movie, I never thought it was frightening at all. Like there was people telling me it was one of the scariest movies of all time, and I don't see it at all. It's cool. It's good. I love the visuals in the movie. The music is fantastic. But I never found it frightening.
You never know how frightening a movie is until you watch it at 2:00 in the morning with all the lights out and no one home. That's the best way to see if a movie's really scary.
Yeah.
That's what I did last night with Suspiria. So
My just to cut you off for a quick minute. What happened? Did we lose
he
everybody?
disappeared.
Is everyone else here? Is it just us,
I'm
Morgan?
I'm
Okay,
here.
Baron.
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're all here. Ray, are you here? Canella?
Yeah, I'm here.
It
Okay,
says
cool.
we're still live too.
One of my favorite movies of Suspiria that I thought was really scary was the scene where the blind pianist is walking down the street with his dog after he just got laid off, and you see the silhouettes of the witches flying around him. That part always got to me because you see it. You see a witch on a brick, like the silhouette of it, and you're just like, what the fuck is that?
And a weird thing about that sequence?
Yeah.
I saw Suspiria after The Lost Boys and totally thought of The Lost Boys when I saw that sequence.
I missed that. What sequence was that?
Where the blind pianist was walking his German Shepherd in the square.
Yeah.
When I saw Suspiria for the first time, I immediately thought of Lost Boys, and I was like, I wonder if they got this whole idea from that, because there was a lot of quick
Fucking
camera
Joel
movements.
Mm-hmm.
It was really creative the way.
and it's just like that.
And I saw Suspiria in the theater back in the day, and I've also had the pleasure of seeing Suspiria at a book signing. There's a theater in Manhattan known as the Film Forum, and the Film Forum will have special events. Every year they do a tribute to William Castle, and they do The Tingler, and they do House on Haunted Hill with all of the gimmicks and all of the gadgets. And one of the events that I attended was a book signing that included it was a book on Dario Argento's work. The book is called Broken Mirrors, Broken Minds. And
but you quoted on Messenger.
And there was a screening of Suspiria.
Hey, Ray, was this the article you wrote about?
No. This was a separate incident.
Because I was going to say there's a good article that you wrote about meeting Argento in Albany.
Yeah.
It's on the Horror Syndicate, just in case. I'm going to post the link on the Facebook. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, actually, the article ends with me meeting Argento at this book signing a second time, and the book signing was also part of a screening. Now, the scene where the blind man is attacked by his dog, that the events leading up to that scene was severely edited from the original U.S. print of the film. When Suspiria was released in the United States, it was very heavily edited. And it was cut for some of the gore, and it was also simply cut for time. They felt that the movie was too long. One of the things that was cut from the film was the fact that the dog bites the son of the director of the Academy. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And once you remove that scene, what happens later with the dog attacking the blind man? Also, they also removed the scene where they put the whammy on the dog. When the dog is making eye contact with the woman in the hallway, she has the shiny object. She shines it in the eyes of the dog. In Italian, she put the mignoica on the dog, and and the dog attacks the blind man. Well, all of those events were cut from the U.S. print of the film. So when you get to the scene where he's walking across the courtyard with the dog and the dog suddenly attacks him, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It's completely disconnected from the events of the film. So historically, the movie struggled to gain its audience because it was so severely edited here in the United States.
That's
by the time
unfortunate.
it made its way here. It wasn't until the video boom of the 80s, mid-80s, late 80s into the 90s, that uncut versions of Suspiria began to make their way to blockbuster shelves and video store shelves across the United States. But the early prints, it was a sad state of affairs. Argento's work was severely censored. All for us to finally get to see the finished product.
Yeah, like you said yourself about opera, you saw. You didn't see. You did see the American release of opera, but you had a chance to go see Dario's opera, and from what it sounds like Dario was in the U.S. very misunderstood as a director, and his movies. In order for his movies to make sense, you actually have to watch them in its entirety. But that's not how American cinema works, and that's not how American cinema is going to work. Look at the new Batman movie with Superman, Batman versus Superman, and such a watered down version. But then they released the director's cut, and everyone's praising it as like the best, the better movies. And you have this issue with a lot of movies that are commercial failures, but do so well internationally, and it's because American, the MPAA, and everyone involved with the release of to theatrical releases is just they get cut and watered down, and no one ever appreciates the release version, and you have to go order something overseas to see the initial idea that the director was going for a director's cut.
Now there is a way to tell the difference between the two prints. When you look at the opening sequence, when you look at the opening credits of the film, as the opening credits play with Goblin's music playing in the background, if it suddenly cuts to the word Suspiria in these fleshy, inflated letters that seem to pulsate.
Like the poster.
It's these fleshy, inflated, letters, and they pulsate. That is the American print. That is the truncated, heavily censored American print. If the opening credits remain simple text, design is somewhat stylized. But if the opening credits remain in the same continuity of simple text, then that's the European print, and that's how you know what version you're watching.
Got you. And I know that there's the same company that Nicholas Winding releasing the 4K version of Dawn of the Dead is releasing a 4K version of Suspiria, but that's only in Italy until we get an American release. I'm actually really interested in seeing that version of Suspiria in its entirety, because I feel like I haven't seen the actual cut that was originally made by Dario.
My wife does not share my passion for horror films, but Suspiria, and bless her, she's put up with this shit with me. This has been my career, and she has really been put up with this nonsense. Suspiria is one of the only films that I cannot play in the house because of the soundtrack. Because of the music. The soundtrack alone terrifies my wife will say, please turn that down. I cannot listen to that. And that's one of the beauty. That's just one of the beauties of the film. For me, it's nearly the perfect horror film in that all aspects of production, from the performances to the photography to the direction to the music to the lighting.
The sets are amazing too.
The set design, the movie is near perfect.
Very colorful
in its execution and in its production, and it's all encompassing. If the visuals aren't terrifying you, then the soundtrack is, and it is one of my favorite soundtracks.
That's two things you just mentioned right there that really stick with you with Suspiria. Are the visuals, the bright, vibrant colors, but not just the fact that they're vibrant, but some of the patterns of the even the skylight in the beginning when the girl gets hung after she's stabbed. That right when I can't even explain it, but it gives you this like this. It gave me this feeling along with the music. It gave me this disoriented feeling because of all the colors and how bright and vibrant it looks. It's very bizarre. I can't even hardly explain it very well, but
it's very rich. The colors are very saturated. The colors are very primary. It's a very vivid blue. It's a very vivid red.
There's a lot of red.
The colors are very primary and very strong, and that's
you gotta love Technicolor.
To the cinematographer, particularly.
Now, they used a 3-bit strip for that movie, right?
I believe so.
The 3-bit strip? I'm unfamiliar with that term.
Technicolor is like the
film stock.
Never mind. I just answered my own question with like the primary colors of red, green, and blue.
Because I know a lot of the older Italian films were all shot in Technicolor. Because it was kind of dying out at that time.
The predecessor was 2-strip Technicolor. That's the scene in Phantom of the Opera, the masked ball sequence that we see in the original silent Phantom of the Opera. That scene was shot in 2-strip Technicolor, and so what Brian's referring to is a form of film stock.
Nice. Fun fact.
Does anyone have any interesting trivia about Suspiria before we move on to the sequel?
Well, I actually thought we'd talk about the remake a little bit, just because I know we touched on it, but I was reading about it today, and they've been trying to remake it since 2008. And there were people saying that it was an unfilmable remake. And then they ran into legal issues, and they said it would never happen. And now it looks like it's going to happen for sure. But they've got, like you said, Chloe Grace Moretz and Dakota Johnson and Tilda Swinton. So,
and that's the kind of cast that's going to get the movie distributed. That's going to see theaters. That's going to see screens in the U.S.
I'm assuming Tilda Swinton's probably going to be the headmaster of the school, probably.
Yeah, or if they're gonna fuck it up.
I'm
worried. I'm very worried. So
they're gonna mess it up. They're gonna like one of the things in the movie. She was mysterious the whole time. Like the scene when they're in the gym or the ballroom sleeping because they have the infestation of whatever the fucking maggots or whatever.
Maggots.
Right.
Yeah, and she's snoring, and the girl's talking about how she heard her sleeping in the room next to her at one point in time. I love that scene, and that adds to the mystery. And that's one of the things I like about the giallo genre is there's a lot of mystery, and there's a lot of mystery surrounding this person, and they're gonna fuck it up by putting her in the forefront, just like Rob Zombie fucked over Halloween with putting Michael Myers all over the place. His his backstory, and they're going to do the same thing. If Tilda Swinton's that's how I feel anyway. Sorry.
I think that you should make a good point. He makes a good point in that the European films, Italian films, whether I think whether it's giallo or not, perhaps spaghetti horror is the more umbrella term to use for all of these films, whether it's a zombie film or it's Suspiria. They have their European sensibility. And that's what gives these movies their charm. That scene that Ray's talking about, where the main character is having the discussion, and the sheets are surrounded by them, and they see the silhouette of the Black Queen as she's sleeping.
Works so well.
There's it's very hard to describe, but all I could put it in terms is a European sensibility in what they talk about, how they talk about one another, what they discuss. And that's going to get shifted when made in the 21st century here in the United States.
Yep.
And sometimes the period in which these films are made, are what gives them their charm.
Well,
and that's why I fear a remake.
Oddly enough, it's funny that the director who's attached says he wants to set it in 1977 when the movie was released. So I don't know if that's going to make any difference or not, but when I heard about this the first time, I think I was like, my first reaction was like, why? No, this is not one you can remake. Suspiria, it's not one that I hold dear to my heart or anything like that, but it'd be like remaking The Exorcist to me. If that's one you can't remake, and now they're doing a series for it, but it's just, I don't know. I don't think it can be remade. I don't think it should be remade either. But Hollywood likes to remake everything.
I think that's for Suspiria is if I know that Nicholas Winding Refn has a lot of input with a lot of remakes nowadays. If he has his lightings for his movies like he did with Neon Demon, if they were to keep a Goblin score and if they were to stay true to the original concept and break down these fucking Hollywood barriers that tell you, no, you can't do this in this movie because I have the right to say, and I think that looks stupid. I think it could be a commercial success, and I think it might be.
But they're going to make it dark and broody with a dark and broody theme. It's not going to be bright, vibrant, and which could, to me, like I said, it could be disoriented just seeing the movie, just looking at it, And then the Goblin theme, that's gone, man. They're not going to do anything like that. They're not going to do anything like that.
They're not doing Goblin?
I'm sure I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know why they would. The director's probably has his own vision, and it's going to be, I understand that creative vision and everything, but you're remaking to me a classic with one of the best scores.
Well, I think maybe he's only on there for Dario Argento's on there for assistant producer. Maybe he might have a little bit of say. It is 2016, where this is the year of Murphy's Law. Anything that will go wrong, it will
get a producer's credit no matter what by default. He's getting a producer's credit. He doesn't even have to. He doesn't have to show up on the set for a single minute. He's going to get a producer's credit. I think it's a very bold choice for a remake. From purely a business standpoint, there is certainly more recognizable brands, if you will, horror brands that could be remade that have more awareness in the social conscience. Suspiria to me is an odd choice. Ray just said, The Exorcist. There's a fairly obvious choice for something to be remade. I think it's a weird choice, but from the sound of the casting, this is probably, if not a theatrical, it'll still be a VOD.
It'll
at least a VOD, if not a theatrical.
I just hope they don't Americanize it. It's going to be set in Berlin, which is still Germany, which is great. But I just hope they don't Americanize it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense.
No. Well, no, that was what I was saying before, is that it had that European sensibility to it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Actually, the fact that it is being set in Germany, I think is a plus. One of the things that works for me about Eli Roth's Hostel, again, is that European sensibility. Also, as an American, being set in that environment, I don't speak the language, I don't read the language. I'm already offset. I'm already off my axis.
A sense of mystery and mystique.
And that's the character Susie, who's going to the ballet school. That's her situation. She doesn't speak the language. She is in a foreign country, so you're already off balance. And I like that, So the fact that this remake is gonna take an American girl and put her in Germany, I think is a good sign.
Yeah. Well, I hope if they do, they're remaking it, but I'd like them to make all three of them, because I really jumping to Inferno if I can. The thing about Inferno, and the reason I prefer it, is it delves deeper into the Three Mothers, into the mythology of the Three Mothers, which is one of the things I really enjoyed about the movie. It may not be a better movie, but it's something I prefer watching it. The music's very similar, the feeling's very similar. Plus, you get to see the Mother of Tears in the movie. And Mother of Tears, the problem with that movie, was made way too long after the other two were made. I thought it was okay. Yeah. Plus, Asia Argento's in it, and she's awesome. But it was made way too late.
Yeah, no, I liked Inferno. I thought Inferno was it was fun. I didn't consider it an actual sequel to Suspiria, but as its own movie, I thought it was fun.
I don't think you can call it a sequel to Suspiria. There's the Three Mothers, and that's all it is. They don't really have anything other than that to do with each other.
I think separate stories.
Yeah, but I do think in the Mother of Sighs, I think she was mentioned maybe in Inferno, and then like I said, Mother of Tears was in the movie. So
I think all three mothers were mentioned in Inferno at
one point. Well, because they really delve into the history and the mythos of the Three Mothers, which for some reason, I'm a big history guy. I think that's why I liked it so much.
Now, is the Mother of Tears actual history, or is it just that was created in Dario's universe?
I'm pretty sure it's just Dario stuff.
Okay.
He based it off of different things. I can't remember offhand, but it's all based off of some kind of mythology, but he made it his own. And Mother of Tears isn't bad. I don't know why it gets such a bad rep. It's a movie out of time, I think. It should have been made in 1982 or 83 or something like that.
What was the production value? Because in the 90s, Dario's production values of his movies went downhill. It almost looked like he went out there with a videotape recorder and shot his movies.
All Italian cinema died out at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it probably wasn't. I'm checking right now, but it couldn't have been much.
Yeah. I tried getting into 90s Dario. I tried getting into 2000s Dario. I tried getting into Dario's Dracula.
3D.
That was bad.
Wow.
I couldn't.
For Mother of Tears, it was originally, he really wanted to make it back in the 80s when he was making these movies. It never happened. If you read what happened, it was going to be made in 84, 85, I think, and then he. It got revisited in 2003 or something like that.
Well, in '85 he made Phenomena. I wonder if
maybe that's why he didn't make it.
I wonder if Phenomena's commercial failure.
It could be. I can't find
another very heavily edited film to the point where the narrative makes no sense.
Yeah.
Poor Argento, everything after Suspiria. Again, received severe edits to the point where the films don't make sense. It was not just cut for violence; it was also cut for time.
Well, I wonder if it's because it got more wide attention than any of his other work, because after Suspiria, he was a part of the Dawn of the Dead with George Romero, and everything. People knew who he was after that more than ever. I believe. I could be wrong, but if you think about it,
his popularity definitely, let's just say this. His marketability in the United States certainly improved with American distributors.
And so
people who were willing to put up the money to distribute his films across the country. But the problem is that we have this rating system. And in order for the distributor to make their money back, they're putting up money to have prints made, to have posters made, that put ads in newspapers, to put ads on television. We've all seen the commercial for Suspiria, the old TV ad that runs on YouTube now. It takes money to put these movies out. So if the MPAA suddenly comes to them and says, "Whoa, man, we got to give this an X rating," well, that's the kiss of death for the distributor. So you make the cuts to the film. You cut the movie down to an R rating so that you can get it out to screens and people can reach into their pockets and pay some money to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but you never know with TV nowadays, with video on demand nowadays, with the generation growing up and being more knowledgeable about.
Oh, this doesn't happen anymore. This doesn't happen anymore. I mean,
not anymore.
Screw the MPAA. It's irrelevant. What's on television now couldn't earn an R rating in the theater if they tried.
No. Now, I just actually ordered, I'm going to be doing a review on it. I just got to finish up all the nooks and crannies of it. I was actually able to watch the entirety of the original Phenomena. Synapse release, they just released a 3-disc one with
a good-looking collection, too.
It's beautiful. It's got the soundtrack. It's got the both 116-minute 118-minute, 100 and creepers. It's like all these extras, and the actual longer version, 116-minute, is actually the Italian edit. Which there's one scene where they had to splice together, and Jennifer Connelly and the killer are talking to each other, and then all of a sudden they break out into Italian, talking to each other, and then they go back to talking to each other in English. And it was like, why did they add that scene? But it's because the original longer cut was in Italian, so that's why they had that. But it's beautiful. It looks phenomenal. Phenomena looks phenomenal, and but
you wordsmith you.
Oh man, I'm on fire today. I'm like Denzel.
I have the old Anchor Bay. I have the old Anchor Bay double feature. Anchor Bay put this out a while ago, but it has Inferno and Phenomena.
Oh yeah, that one.
Both in their uncut form, and it's a really gorgeous collection. This came out quite some time ago, but there's the work for Phenomenon, and then here's Inferno. And music plays a huge part in Inferno as well. The soundtrack is performed by Keith Emerson from the progressive rock group Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Dario Argento attended a Emerson, Lake and Palmer concert one evening, and as part of the performance, Keith Emerson would perform his keyboard solo. And as part of his keyboard solo, he would produce 2 daggers, 2 knives, and he would proceed to stab his Hammond B3 with these daggers. And Argento, being in the audience watching this on stage before him, he felt as though the violence of it and the intensity of it, he felt that Keith was already performing the soundtrack for him right there on stage. And so Argento contacted Keith Emerson, and Emerson was contracted to perform the score, and the score is marvelous. But sadly, we lost Keith Emerson this year in 2016.
He committed
suicide. Passed. He committed suicide. I had the pleasure of seeing him perform with Emerson, Lake and Palmer a couple of times, and I also got to see him with his solo band at BB King's back in not that long ago, about maybe 6-7 years ago. I saw him at BB King's in Manhattan performing, so it was a big loss. I was a tremendous fan.
Yeah.
So, but another reason to see Inferno again is the photography. It is just gorgeous, beautifully shot, and Keith Emerson's wonderful score.
Yeah. So, does anyone else?
Baron, what do you think? You're kind of quiet, buddy.
I don't want to jump in. I don't want to cut anybody off, so I'll just wait for my turn.
Hey, this has been a crazy episode, Baron. Just jump in, buddy.
All right, so first with Gallo films, my favorite one is I think it's a Gallo film, is Lucio Fulci's A Lizard in a Woman's Skin.
Mm.
Now, those who are unfamiliar with this film, it just recently got a first U.S. Blu-ray release from the original negative. This film is disturbing with a dream sequence. Every time we watch a film with a dream sequence in it, yep, that's it. There you go. When you see this film and you see the dream sequence, I'm telling you, no dream sequence can match this one. This one is disturbing. I mean, you've got, I think, these women sitting there, their innards are being ripped out, and everybody's seeing this. It's a disturbingly sick movie, and I like it. Then again, you would figure I would. Now, with Suspiria, that film is interesting. I find some elements of almost a Vertigo kind of feel to it, of all the dazzling of the geometric shapes and things that are happening with the trickery of light onto them, and it really kind of sucks you into almost like a vortex of how some of these things appear. And speaking of the music, yes, the music was very good, and there's only been one band most recently that has been doing some Goblin types of music, and that's been Arcana 13. They have a track that's actually, I guess, a homage of the film. So, and I played it on the Baron's Crypt, and a lot of you probably heard that one. It's only about 7 minutes long, so it's a nice long track. But it's very good, and it fits the film, the music of Goblin very well. But like I said, the film itself, and through the trilogy, it really does give you a lot of deep vortex, if you would, with the light trickery, and I think that's a lot of times missing from a lot of the cinematography of today.
There's a nice artistry to it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, and that's what the Italian films, a lot of them bring. Not all of them, but a lot of them bring that. Almost the European films do. It's not just try to jump scares all over the place. It's more of developing and bringing you into this kind of new world, if you would, and telling a story to bring that in. And with the remake coming up, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. They're not. Today's films, when it comes to scares, it's dark, it's moody, it's.
I agree with you.
It's a complete absence of light. They just keep making it darker and darker and darker.
Yep.
And then they do the big jump scares, and there you go. They're not going to have all the brightness. It's not going to be there. If it is there, it'll be there maybe in one scene, if anything, and then they're just going to dissolve it away. Because, and I believe this, the American audience, for the most part, has been conditioned not to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be conditioned to accept the darker scenes, the absence of light. And that's what's going to happen. I mean, we see it in so many films that we all review and watch. There is no brightness in these films. There's no more vivid colors. There's no more artistry being shown there. It's just almost a bleakness. And I'm really worried what they're going to do. If we've seen anything from remakes, we already know they're not going to do it. I mean, look, I don't think they're ever going to really remake Zombie. I mean, come on, that was a very gross movie, which I enjoyed. And but I don't see them doing it.
Yeah.
You know, they're just going to, I mean, look, Zombie everything, all the gore, everything is shown in the light. It's right there. It's presented with all
To the
work.
forefront.
But I'm telling you, they're not going to do it. I don't care. It's just not going to happen. So, if you want to see true cinematography, true artistry, true light, you have to watch these movies for themselves. And I've had the luxury of seeing Superior at a theater that is no longer around. It was called the Harwin Theater in Mount Ethan, New Jersey, and it was spectacular to watch that film. So that's my little view on it. Now, who's up next?
I think I agree a lot with what you have to say there, Baron. So I'm glad to get your opinion because you have a very big opinion.
Yes, I do.
No, it's a great thing too. You know.
What can I say?
But anyway, I think Morgan, you watched Suspiria last night. Is that the only one you've seen?
Yep.
Yep.
Suspiria.
Yeah.
So what did you think initially, Morgan? Your initial viewing?
Oh, hold on. Was that the first time you've seen it?
Yep.
Oh, Morgan, time to write a review.
Can you please share your thoughts about the film?
That's okay.
She's taking dance next semester.
Dead air.
No, I'm
I've taken dance before, actually. But yeah, I really, really liked it. I wanted to go see it on Halloween night. They were showing it at the Texas Theater, which is the theater that Lee Harvey Oswald was arrested in front of. But anyway, they were showing it, and they were showing it there, and they were having a ballet performance before it, like that was inspired from the movie, and I really wanted to go to it.
Cool.
Couldn't because I had too much work to do. But yeah,
Quit
so
school.
instead,
Go do
I
things
watched
like
it
that.
for the first time last night. I wish. But yeah, I liked it. But I wish there would have been more dancing. But I mean, that's not really a complaint. Like, but yeah.
Listening is when you buy the Goblin soundtrack and you listen to it when you're home by yourself. That's how I listen to Goblin, at least.
That's this baby right here.
Oh yeah.
This is kind of a best of Goblin.
I need to get that. My wife would kill me. She hates that stuff.
Marvelous stuff. Great stuff. If you like your Italian prog, people, if you like Italian progressive rock, Goblin's the band. Now, I think I've told you guys that there's been
Nice
it's called Goblin. It's called Goblin Rebirth.
Nice.
And I should share it with you guys in Dropbox. It's an album that came out earlier this year, and it has some of the members
Brian,
of
show it
Goblin
again.
have reunited.
Oh, you want to see it again?
Yeah, I got you on the full
Oh
screen.
yeah, let's see that vinyl. Yeah, some of the Goblin members have reunited, and the band's called Goblin Rebirth, and I recommend it highly.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we have a Dropbox? I think we do, don't we?
I will play this
Yeah.
bad boy live.
Yeah. We have a Dropbox. I'll share it with you.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be
I
great.
thought we did.
Yeah, you should. That'd be. Oh, shit. I just muted Brian.
That's okay. Brian's going to do some garden shears later.
Unmute.
I'll get it. Just somebody else talk.
Brian, you're in timeout for no reason.
I don't know how I did that.
While Brian has been muted,
Hey, Brian, can you unmute yourself?
tonight's show has been brought to you by
Silence.
tonight's show has been brought to you by Beverages from Hoffman. Remember their motto: if you want a little spritz, call up Hoffman.
And he's back.
Back.
I'm here. Hello. Yeah. No, I'll play that bad boy live. Maybe Friday before the VHS midnight presentation. I'll play it live.
VHS Midnight Presents. That'd be awesome, dude. You should.
Yeah. Hear how that bad boy sounds. Yeah, no, I definitely had a lot of fun tonight talking about the Mother of Tears trilogy with you guys. Is there anything you guys would like to wrap up before we end our sixth episode?
We didn't get to the horror genres. We'll have to put that to the side, just like the top 100.
Oh, yeah.
No, Jared, what did you say you were going to do for BSR this week?
Stage Fright. Musical horror movie.
All right. And if you get a chance, check out, I don't know how you're going to get a chance to, but Party Night. It's recommended. Suspiria is recommended.
Yeah. And this Friday night, you can go on the Horror Syndicate Facebook page or at VHS Midnight, and we will be playing a double feature late for you on Friday.
You cut out.
You cut out, bub.
Cut out again. No. Try it again.
You sound a little like T-Pain, but go
faster, more intense.
No. VHS at midnight this Friday.
Oh shit, Ray! You put that in there already.
I'm playing fucked up barn movies, so yeah, go check that out. All right, that's all I gotta say. Well,
thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for watching tonight's episode. If you want to follow me, you can go on Facebook. Follow me at Brian Enright. On Twitter, I am at The Horror Jew. Baron, where can we find you at?
I see on Twitter, it's going to be Baron_Craze. On Facebook, there's actually really two. It's Baron Craze. And it's also the Baron's Crypt. That's a show that airs on Blog Talk Radio. And we got somebody playing music. So nice of you. Now to talk louder. No damn problem about it. You can find me on the Baron's Crypt. It's Friday night, 6:30, 2-hour show, all about horror history. You can play music. It still won't stop me. I'll just get louder.
Thank you very much, Baron.
You're welcome.
Where can we find you?
You guys can follow me on Facebook or try to friend request me if you want to at Jared Letourneau. Got more music, but I'm not going to get as loud as Baron. But you can follow me on Twitter at zombie_survivor. And once again, thanks for listening to us blab about stuff.
All right, Morgan, where can we
playing it
find
already.
you? Who's playing?
Yeah, you already got it.
Find me on Twitter at Morgan_Jewel_S.
Got it.
Awesome. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Morgan Rayzilla, where can we find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at RayzillaNJ. And I shared the Goblin Rebirth with all of you. If you
That's was me playing it, by the way.
You'll be able to hear it. But you can follow me on Twitter if you dare. And you can find me on Facebook at Ray Canal. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy Turkey Day.
And our president, DJ,
You are all my children now.
find you, Razor.
At Razor_33. You can follow me on Twitter. You will follow not only horror information from the Horror Syndicate, but my comic book exploits. Wrath of Redemption is my comic book. It's not out yet. And then you can follow me on Facebook at, just go to Rage of Razor. It's nothing special.
Okay.
I like it.
All right, well, thanks for joining us to see everybody, and everyone have a great rest of the holiday.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. And
Oh my God. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Ooh, so scary.